Hey, Valtopia. Hey, honey, it's Val. Oh, a little prayer for Aretha. Little prayer for you. Oh, I love her, I love her, I love her. Yes, this is the weekend after Aretha has left us. And welcome to Valtopia, honey. I thought I'd pop on live for a little bit of fuck yeah. Say hello if you're joining me. Say hello. I wish I could keep playing the Aretha in the background, but I don't have the rights to her beautiful music to play for you. So, what's happening? Hey, Sabrina. What up, boo? Hey, yo, Yasumina Sai. So, I wanted to pop on and first of all show you what I'm working on, my latest piece, and I'm pretty lost in it because it's deep, it's exciting, and it's taken up my focus this weekend. So, hey, Ada. Cheers, honey. Join me, say hello. And so I have my Fuck Yeah deck coming out, y'all. And it's all the cards are ready, and I'm going to find a printer, and I got to get it delivered, make sure it looks cool, and then you can pre-order. So I thought you guys can put a number between 1 and 88 to get your Fuck Yeah reading today while I'm here live with you. And I wanted to talk about just what's going on. If you've been following my feed, you could see that I posted yesterday. I was painting, and I thought, hey, let me just post this. This came through. And I said, who wants to go with me to get my first Gucci? Well, you can go and look at the comments on my page. And it's funny because yesterday I wrote a beautiful post on Instagram, and a squirrel came outside my window, and I went to video the squirrel, and that squirrel suddenly the post was gone from Instagram. And the post was about not saying what you feel, and not saying what you feel because you think it's going to be it's a safer route, that maybe by not saying what you want to say, that you can keep yourself in a safe space. And what happens when you do that is actually create a reality from the unspoken words that are floating around in your mind, and the feelings that are coming from those unspoken words that are floating around in your mind, that you think you're protecting yourself from an interaction, you think you're protecting yourself from conflict, you think you're keeping yourself safe, and truly you're creating an experience based on the unspoken words in your mind, right? And I wrote a post about that, and how once you move through and finally speak the words and move through the scary experience that you thought might come from speaking the unspoken words and the truth of that, and you're in a better place, and you're in a new space of being where things are so much better, you find yourself feeling the reflex of where you've been. You feel the comfort of the old way of being, and you find yourself reacting or choosing to expect what you used to have. How many of you guys watching this know that feeling? You've moved beyond a terrible situation, but you can't forget the feeling, or you often remember the feeling of where you were, and it's affecting your experience of now. I would love to hear if you're familiar with this and how that feels for you, and how you're choosing to let go of that reflex. And so this combination of speaking the unspoken words and trusting that you can continue to speak the unspoken words in your mind and continue to express and explore your own sense of who you are, and as you come through. And then that was the other thing that happened on my feed yesterday. I posted a comment about being seen as too much, in your face, if you will, and how that can be a trait for those of us who are creative visionaries, who do have a lot of energy coming through, who are really excited and full of ideas and life force, and don't need to sleep as much as other people, and are busy doing a lot of things. And I got given advice on how I could temper what comes through me to suit others. And really the whole message of the day was, I'm meant to bring it through as it is and not temper it, because tempering it and filtering it won't let me connect with who I'm meant to connect with. Those of you who are considered too much in your space too. And the fact that you're too much is actually maybe a sign that you have a lot coming through. And let's talk. Let's talk about shaping that too muchness into something beautiful, because that's what it is. Thank you, Lisbeth. I'm not too much, just enough. Well, it's interesting to see how many of us who are really creatively expressive and have a big vision can be considered too much of our lives before we come into a place of comfort with ourselves. Exactly, Elizabeth. You consider too much, but you don't care. Yeah, but coming into, did you have a journey to come into that place of not caring, and do you find yourself still having a reflex where you might care? Did you always not care? I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear. And you know, this is part of my experience right now, is shifting who I speak to more directly and having my message be more clear and loud and more resonant. Hey, Olivia, so that I do say and be exactly how I am, and then when we get in a session, you know what you're in for, because I'm being myself, right? If I hide parts of myself, and then you're in a session with me, you're going to be surprised if I suddenly start dropping F-bombs or sharing the viewpoints that I do, that I share in my live streams and in my experiences. So I am looking for those of you that are feel like you might have been too much, or feel like you have so much and you're not letting it forward, and not letting it forward in the way that feels beautiful to you and feels in flow. And there are so many ways that we can work. We can work with paint, we can work with color, we can work with sound, but mostly there's a lot of dialogue that happens, and questions, really good questions that come through. So speaking of questions, throw out your numbers. Throw out a number from 1 to 88, and I'll give you your fuck yeah read for the day. Come on, give me one, Lisbeth, and everybody that's on here, and I'll give you a little reading if you feel like it. And then I gotta go because I just got an exciting message. 44, Lisbeth. Inner child. So, let me pull. Where's my cards here? What are they? Oh, there they are. Let me pull my question cards to go with that to see if we can have extra knowing here. Okay, so 44, inner child, Lisbeth. Another card that's going to come up here, these questions. These aren't oracle cards, they're question cards. Aha. So why do I like myself? So if there's moments where we don't like ourselves, and Lisbeth, oh honey, I can relate to this. There's so many moments in my childhood where, because it's just this very topic we're talking about, everyone made me feel like I was too much, too loud, too boisterous, too this, that, or the other. And then as I grew into a woman, the too muchness of me was actually my strength, right? Can you relate? So we have to do some inner child love to mend that reflex of thinking we're too much and really understanding, no, honey, I'm just great the way I am, right? Give me a high five. Boom, right? So true. High five, honey. Okay, let me see. Who's next? 79, Olivia. Olivia, integrate. So integrating is baths, drinking water, exercise, grounding, journaling, painting, loving on yourself or with somebody, honey, dancing. Oh, and look at this. Why am I playful? So be sure to not go too hard on yourself. If you're feeling like kind of out of sorts, you might just be, coming into a new, deeper level of yourself and needing a little time to kind of let things commingle and marinate together. You know what I'm saying? And Janine, hi there. 27 is, let's see, silent. So I like to take that card however that means for you. Maybe you're being called to sit with yourself a little bit. Let's see what comes through in the question card deck. Ah, yes. Why my gift? So maybe if you're feeling unworthy or in a little fear of failure or something like that, you can look and sit quietly and feel the gratitude of who you are and the gift of who you are, right? I love that. So, well, thank you, everybody. I want to keep this short. I want to get back to this painting. I'm really into it, and Let me know if you're watching the replay. And listen, we got some geostorms coming tomorrow for a couple days. And they might be bringing emotions to the surface that you've been having trouble bringing up to the surface yourself. So if you're feeling tweaked in the next, beginning this evening or something, and you want to book in for an emergency session so you can really release this stuff with flow, and with assistance, message me, honey, okay? You're welcome. The deck's coming out. I'll be letting you guys see it as soon as I order it, but I'll keep playing with it like this until we're ready. So have a beautiful Sunday, and honey, remember, own your frequency. There's nobody like you.